Hello, everybody, and welcome to our final releases webinar of the year for the fourth quarter 2024. We're so excited that you're here. We have so many amazing products across Twilio, across Segment, across all of our brands to bring to you that are going to help you have amazing experiences with your customers. We're going to also share a bunch of insights about how we see people interacting with customers and how you can do an even better job. So this is going to be a really exciting webinar. Just want to start with some ground rules. First of all, this is being recorded and it will be shared. So don't worry if you miss something or there's something that's just so amazing that you can't wait to share it with a coworker. We've got you a few days after the event. It'll be available. So don't worry. We've got the recordings. Also, chat is open. Ask your questions. Let us know what you think. Give us feedback in real time. There'll also be an opportunity at the end to give us feedback. But anytime something comes to mind, whether it's a question or a comment, we'd love to hear from you in the moment. Finally, if you want to learn more about our privacy policy, you can go to twilio.com/privacy and learn all about how we use your data there. So with all that out of the way, I'd like to welcome my co-host, Steph, to join me. Hi, Steph.
Hey, Alex, and welcome, everyone. I'm so excited everyone's here with us. Alex, I don't know about you, but I'm really excited for today's webinar. I can't believe it's the last of the year. We've done so much in 2024, and Q4 is really no exception. Like, as the year winds down, it feels like we're just winding up.
Right? Things are moving so fast in tech right now, especially around AI, and our product teams have really been on fire, keeping Twilio at the cutting edge.
Yeah, I'm really just itching to tell everyone what we built this year, and we have a lot to cover, so I think we should just jump right in. Alex, what do we have today on the agenda?
Definitely. So we're splitting this talk today into kind of three buckets or themes. So the first theme is make every interaction smarter with AI. Every touch point with your customer matters. With data that brings real-time understanding, you can make each one of these interactions so much more impactful. The second theme is individualized experience anywhere, anyway. Meeting customers where they are, using rich communications experience is a key to having successful experiences, engagement with your customer. And then finally, part three, we have some announcements and some insights that we'll be sharing with you. We'll review some best practices from Black Friday, Cyber Monday, which just happened. And we've even got more beta announcements for you. So let's start by digging into that first theme. Let's dig into how we can make interactions smarter with AI. We're hearing a lot about using AI in customer engagement from every direction, but what does that mean in practice for brands and their customers?
That's the million-dollar question, Alex. I think in a nutshell, we're just helping brands harness AI to personalize every interaction to their customers' preferences, which can sound daunting to do at scale, but it doesn't have to be, not if you have the right AI tools in the right places.
Speaking of which, voice AI is definitely the rage right now. I've seen a lot of companies creating amazing products using AI over voice channels for customer care. We just ran the AI Startup Searchlight and there were so many great entries. You can go check that out. We have a little link in chat for you. But we want to make it easier to implement AI, especially over voice, which is why we're excited to talk about Conversation Relay, which is designed to make it easy for brands to provide solid, streamlined AI-generated help for customers when they call.
Yeah, but it doesn't stop there when it comes to customer care. Flex's agent CoPilot basically makes your customer care agents superheroes, enabling them to access real-time assistance with knowledge-based search and next best response, and to summarize customer interactions with generative AI.
This is going to be such a welcome change when it's an industry standard. I can't wait for the day when I contact support. They already know who I am and are super well equipped to help me with whatever I need.
Yeah, you and me both. But the opportunity to wow your customers isn't really limited to when they reach out to you. It's when you reach out to them too. Brands need to make sure they're showing customers they understand them. If they get it wrong, they leave their customers with a really bad taste in their mouths, and that lasts. But again, it's also really hard to do that at scale without the right tools.
Which is the rationale behind our AI recommendations, helping brands tailor their communications to customers based on top products, brands, or categories each individual prefers, which is huge. Look, I'd much rather receive ads for things I'm interested in, like specialty D&D dice sets. Steph, what about you? Is there a time that you've gotten a really relevant ad or they've just totally missed the boat?
Oh, I've got one. I recently got a bunch of ads for car insurance, which is weird because I have not owned a car in over 10 years. So if those brands really knew each of their customers, they could have targeted the right people with those ads. I honestly just hope I was an anomaly. If I wasn't, I just don't even want to think about what those poor marketers' conversion rates look like.
Oof. I don't know if I feel worse for you getting these relevant ads or for those marketers who can't figure this out.
It's what I'd call a real lose-lose situation, Alex. It's painful for both consumers and brands when the brands get that outreach wrong. Another hurdle brands need to clear to get it right that people don't think about very often is compliance. That can be tricky when you're reaching out to customers across regions with different marketing and comms regulations. That's why we're developing our compliance toolkit, which uses AI to help brands comply with local regulations or requirements, all because we know brands want to maintain that consumer trust and loyalty by not sending messages when they shouldn't.
This is all such cool stuff. So without further ado, let's pass the mic off to Jason and Brandon to kick things off with Conversation Relay.
Thank you, Steph. Now let's dive into what's new in voice. AI is dominating the headlines, promising new efficiencies and transformative opportunities for businesses across industries. Today, I'm excited to share how Twilio is delivering on that promise with voice AI and how Conversation Relay gives developers the tools to excel where others fall short. Best-in-class interruption handling, natural conversational pacing, and the freedom to focus on their own AI innovations while we handle the complexities of voice technology. By leveraging Twilio's AI expertise, developers no longer have to worry about the complexities of voice AI integration. We make it easy, enabling them to build faster and more effectively. Voice AI interactions are only as good as their ability to feel natural and responsive. Clunky transitions, awkward silences, or struggles with real-time interruptions frustrate customers and limit impact. That's where Twilio makes the difference. We offer best-in-class interruption handling. Conversation Relay seamlessly manages real-time inputs, keeping conversations smooth and frustration-free. We also offer natural conversational pacing. Our platform ensures human-like dialogue, eliminating robotic pauses and awkward gaps. Finally, let Twilio handle the voice expertise. By managing the complexities of voice infrastructure, like latency, scale, and seamless integrations, developers can stay laser-focused on their own AI innovations. Conversation Relay takes the hassle out of building robust voice AI by providing effortless integration seamlessly. Connect to your existing AI stack and top-tier speech-to-text and text-to-speech providers like DeepGram, Google, and Amazon. We also offer flexibility at scale, scalable, reliable, and future-proof voice AI for any use case. And don't forget about the Twilio ecosystem. Build the omnichannel experiences that connect voice with SMS, chat, email, and more. As voice AI moves from a nice-to-have to a must-have, the ability to deliver smooth, responsive, and natural interactions is what separates great solutions from frustrating ones.
Thanks, Jason. So let's talk a little bit more about how this actually works. This is a high-level architecture, and Twilio is on the left, your app is on the right. Let's talk about who does what. So you own the AI, and Twilio provides the voice connectivity, orchestration of speech-to-text and text-to-speech. We're going to send you text that we have transcribed. You're going to pass it to the LLM. You're going to send text response back to us, and we're going to speak it out. Really oversimplified, we're just passing text back and forth to each other over the WebSocket. Let's drill one more level down. There's two main parts to this product, and the first is a new TWIML, Connect Conversation Relay. And this is the standard pattern for building with Twilio Voice. You define initial parameters and settings such as the voice and the language and the provider. And then the second part is really where the magic happens. And this is the service provider interface for the WebSocket app. And this is where we'll define the events that you can expect to receive and what you can send back to us while the call is actually happening. So let's take a look at what this actually looks like and do a live demo. The setup here is, this is owl shoes and a customer's calling in looking for a recommendation for a walking shoe. The demo is designed to show you how flexible the product is in terms of being able to change personality very quickly and also handle interruptions.
Hey Brandon, it's Ollie, your owl shoe shopping guide.
Hey Ollie, good to talk to you again. I'm looking for a comfortable pair of walking shoes to wear around San Francisco. Do you have a recommendation for me?
Absolutely. Considering your...
Actually, can we speak in French?
Bien sûr, Brandon. Nous pouvons continuer en français. Voulez-vous que je commande les Urban Explorer pour
Just
vous?
kidding. I don't know how to speak French. Can you please repeat the recommendations in English?
Of course. I recommend the Urban Explorer walking shoes. They come in black and gray and offer high arch support and maximum cushioning.
Ah, yeah, the Urban Explorer. I have heard good things about that one. Let's go with that.
Great choice, Brandon.
And there's one more important detail I forgot to mention. I need to get them as soon as possible. I have a walking tour scheduled tomorrow morning, and yeah, is there a place that I can pick them up nearby?
I'm really sorry, but the Urban Explorer is out of stock in your size at nearby locations. However, as a Gold member, I can offer you complimentary overnight shipping to your current location at Twilio headquarters, 101 Spear Street, 5th floor, San Francisco. Would that work for you?
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, please, let's do that.
Fantastic. I'll arrange for the Urban Explorer to be shipped overnight to your location. Would you like to use your saved card ending in 9991 for this purchase?
Yes, please use my Save credit card. But actually, I won't be here tomorrow morning. Can you send them to my hotel instead? I'm staying at the Four Seasons in San Francisco.
Got it. I'll send the Urban Explorer to the Four Seasons in San Francisco with overnight shipping. Just a moment while I place the order. Your order is set and will be delivered to the Four Seasons by 8 a.m. tomorrow. Anything else I can help with today?
Yeah, can you please send me a confirmation email?
Of course, Brandon. I'll send a confirmation email to brhawkins@twilio.com with all the order details. Anything else I can assist you with?
That'll do it. I really appreciate your help.
You're very welcome, Brandon. Enjoy your new shoes and have a great time in San Francisco. Take care.
Thanks, Ollie. You too. Bye-bye. So now I'll pass it back to Jason so you can learn how to get started.
Ready to create AI that's as innovative as your broader vision? Join the public beta for Conversation Relay and see how Twilio can help you deliver impactful voice experiences quickly, easily, and at scale. Visit Twilio Docs to get started. We can't wait to call what you build. Now I'll hand it over to Phil, who will walk us through all the exciting developments happening with Twilio Flex.
Thanks, Jason. It's really exciting to hear what we're doing with Conversation Relay, enabling customers to bring their own AI models to Twilio Voice. Hi, everyone. I'm Philip Borden from the Flex product marketing team, here to talk about how we can optimize your employee experiences with Agent CoPilot. Now, we know that employee interactions are reserved for those high-value or complex issues that self-service just can't resolve. And we also know that these interactions need to be optimized to improve operational efficiency and to drive the key metrics that you care about, like reducing average handle time and improving first call resolution. But we also know that this isn't always easy because a customer may have a repeat issue that is upsetting them, or it's a complex task that the agent needs additional tools and resources to be able to accomplish. So how can Agent CoPilot help? Agent CoPilot is there to make every employee superhuman by augmenting their experience with AI. Agent CoPilot is there to provide your employees with a real-time assistant to work alongside them to help a customer purchase a product or resolve an issue. This can be done by highlighting necessary resources and information to uplevel the skill set of that agent, or by providing a recommended response based on the context of the interaction to move this to the next step. And of course, Agent CoPilot is there to also automate specific tasks for the employee to get the employee back to what they do best, which is helping more customers. Agent CoPilot starts by simplifying onboarding and enablement. And this is done by allowing you to upload relevant information from enablement materials and product resources to make these available to your employees at their fingertips. Now, as you see here, Agent CoPilot is available in the Flex user interface as a pop-up, where the employee can quickly search and discover relevant information that is needed to help resolve this customer's issue. This helps up-level your employee's skill set while on the job. And we know this is a critical issue because employee churn continues to be a challenge for contact centers. So with Agent CoPilot, your employees, while working, can now educate themselves by using the resources available through the knowledge base to answer customers' questions and help them purchase any products that they may need. But Agent CoPilot is also there to improve your operational efficiency and to drive those key metrics like I mentioned, of reducing average handle time and improving first call resolution. Now, as we see, Agent CoPilot once again pops up, but this time to provide a recommended response for this employee to use to engage with Parker Smith and to actually wrap up this interaction. Now, Agent CoPilot is there listening in the background to ensure that all these recommended responses are based on the context of the interaction and provide the next step for this employee to take to resolve the issue, to help purchase the product, or do whatever the customer needs to to get back to what they want, which is their daily life. Agent CoPilot is there to assist this employee in real time and provide that recommended response within the Flex user interface. But again, it doesn't stop there. It also helps automate tasks like wrap-up summaries. And here we can see that for this conversation with Parker Smith, there is a topic of general credit card information request. There's a disposition code that this interaction was resolved. There's a sentiment of positive and a summary of the interaction that happened with Parker Smith. But this data isn't lost. This wrap-up summary is then moved into the history timeline of Parker Smith's interactions with this business, so that future interactions can leverage this information to understand Parker Smith's relationship and the interactions that have happened before. Context is also pulled into the highlights so that future interactions understand who Parker Smith is as a person, moving beyond name and account information, but to relevant information about what products Parker has purchased, what inquiries has he made before. All of this context helps future employees align with Parker on what he might want to accomplish and move him forward in his relationship and increasing customer lifetime value with this business. Now, this interaction is happening within the Flex UI, but we also know that customers of ours also use Twilio Flex by embedding it into Salesforce. And so, Agent CoPilot is available within the Salesforce UI as well. So here you can see in a Salesforce record, we're able to have that same pop-up and experience to engage with the customer without friction, but also have that knowledge base resource or a recommended response available to guide this interaction to completion. And of course, this data can also then be moved into a Salesforce record so that the summary and disposition code of that interaction can be moved forward into a record that your employees can use moving forward to align with this customer in a better way. Now, I'm going to pass it over to Bryn Saunders to talk about AI recommendations. Over to you, Bryn.
Hey everyone, my name is Bryn Saunders and I'll be walking you through the Twilio segment releases for Q4. We're going to kick things off with recommendation traits. Last quarter, we launched recommendation audiences, which enabled marketers to build audiences of people who were most likely to purchase a product, category, or brand. This quarter, we're releasing new functionality called recommendation traits. So just a quick recap. Within Segment, you have what are called unified profiles, which include a number of different attributes about a person. Think things like their age, their location, maybe their loyalty member status. These are all considered traits that are saved to a customer profile. With recommendation traits, marketers can identify which products or items a customer is most likely to purchase and save those items to the customer profile. These traits can then be sent to any connected channel for use in things like ad campaigns, dynamic emails, or web experiences, or even back to your data warehouse. Ultimately, recommendation traits help marketers gain a much deeper understanding of their customers and allows you to better personalize all your customer experiences for greater engagement, conversion, and loyalty. Let's dive into a quick example. Let's say you wanted to create a recommendation trait for the top 3 products your customers are most likely to purchase. Then, with those top products saved to the customer profile, you could create something like a dynamic email for every customer that features the top 3 products that are relevant to them. So maybe I get an email that shows me a pair of running shoes, a yoga mat, and a pair of men's running shorts, while someone else might get an email with a backpack, tent, or hiking gear. Recommendation traits is now generally available. And with that, I'm going to pass things over to Bill to talk a little bit more about our compliance toolkit. Thanks.
Well, thanks, Bryn. Hi, my name is Bill Higbee, and I'm with Product Marketing here at Twilio, and I'm introducing Compliance Toolkit, which is in private beta. I do have to read through a disclaimer here before diving in. It says Compliance Toolkit is a product available to Twilio messaging customers that uses artificial intelligence to help manage your obligations with respect to some aspects of local regulatory compliance requirements. Compliance Toolkit is not a comprehensive compliance solution and does not determine which of your activities are or are not compliant. It is your responsibility to determine and adhere to your own compliance obligations. So why are we here to talk about compliance? Well, the truth is, adhering to compliance regulations is hard. Rules are different for different types of messages. Opt-ins and opt-outs are sporadic. Customers move and change their phone numbers, and customers live in different time zones. Each of these items are impacted by different compliance regulations that change themselves. So how do you monitor and manage your own compliance obligations? Do you throw manual resources at it? Do you leave each line of business to be responsible for it themselves? Or are you unsure and lack confidence in your compliance regulations? It's stressful. And why is it so stressful? Well, there are risks of fines. The TCPA provides for statutory damages ranging from $500 to $1,500 per violation. And there are risks of class action lawsuits. There were 878 TCPA class actions in 2023. And this number is actually increasing. There's an 18% increase in TCPA court filings in 2023 versus 2022. But there must be a better way. By using data analysis and AI, this type of information can be found and acted upon. Messages can be evaluated to determine if they're essential or non-essential, such as marketing messages. Opt-out databases can be scanned. Local area code time zones can be determined. And ownerships of phone numbers can be evaluated through FCC databases. Imagine having programmatic support that does all these things to help you meet your compliance obligations. And that's why we're introducing Compliance Toolkit, which is now available in private beta. What Compliance Toolkit does is it proactively detects certain aspects of regulatory messaging policy violations and prevents their transmission so that you can bring yourself into compliance. Compliance Toolkit can help solve for messaging silent hours, whereby non-essential messages are not supposed to be sent, such as in the middle of the night. Compliance Toolkit can help ensure messages aren't sent to opted-out consumers, and can also help ensure that the phone number is still assigned to the person actually opted in to receive messages from you. Well, there you have it. Compliance Toolkit is available today in private beta. If you're interested in participating, reach out to your account executive to learn more. Now I'm going to hand it back to Steph and Alex. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Bill. Hopefully that gave everyone a sense of how we're actually investing to help you harness AI to deliver personalization at scale. But there's more. We're also investing in making it easy for brands to reach out to customers to deliver those individualized experiences anyway, anywhere, engaging customers when, where, and how they prefer to be engaged.
I spend a lot of time giving talks and webinars about why this is so important. You can check out the links in chat if you want to dive deeper with me. And this is why I love to see how we're making it easier for brands to use Twilio as a one-stop shop to engage customers across channels. For example, we're making it easier for brands to adopt rich communication standards, or RCS, to improve interactions in messaging. Brands can continue to leverage Twilio's trusted APIs to implement these new standards without having to re-architect their communication infrastructure.
Yeah, we're also making sure you can reach out to customers across all of their preferred channels from one platform, which is why we're pumped to announce that video is back.
Woohoo! And we're making it easier to deliver awesome customer experiences with our launch of Twilio Studio 2.0. Twilio Studio has been one of my absolute favorite tools since I joined the company. I use it all the time to build user interactions and create unique experiences. I'm so excited it's getting a new look and new features, which we'll walk through shortly.
And of course, all these interactions require data, good, actionable customer data. That's why we've made it easy for you to enrich event streams in real time with linked events in Segment. And we've made it even easier for you to get up to speed with Segment with use case onboarding, so you can deliver experiences that resonate even more quickly regardless of your use case. So with that, let's start talking about what each of these releases looks like. Let's pass things back over to Lindsay to kick things off with an update on RCS.
Thanks. I'm Lindsay Weinig, and I'm the Director of Product Marketing here at Twilio, and I'm going to talk to you about RCS Business Messaging. So there's a lot of buzz recently around RCS Business Messaging, and honestly, a lot of false information about this communication channel. So the protocol is far from new. It launched in 2008, but only in a limited capacity to Android devices. And this fall, there's been a lot of excitement and news coverage about RCS coming to iPhone users. But there's been limited success globally for a few reasons, so we're going to dig into that today. First, a quick recap on RCS Business Messaging. This channel is poised to become the premium messaging channel globally. There's 3 notable benefits that I'm going to cover. First, the branded sender. It's right in the inbox with the business name and the logo with a profile view. Second, it provides better insights. This is the first time we can get delivery confirmation from the handset consistently. and read receipts so you know not just when a message was delivered, but also when it was viewed by the consumer. And read receipts are turned on by default for consumers, with over 80% leaving them on. And finally, rich content. You can get long message support without having to deal with multiple SMS segments. And you also can use quick reply buttons, so you can tap instead of type. And we see 30 to 40% higher engagement rate with a tap. And then also rich cards and carousels. So this is great for product catalogs with the attached metadata to really provide that highly visual, engaging experience. Okay, so how does it all work and how are carriers involved? This is a question we get a lot. And it matters because it speaks to the status of the channel globally and the lack of consumer reach today. So you can see I have a diagram here to help walk through what is happening with RCS Business Messaging. So technically it's a new channel, but the dynamics are pretty similar to SMS. The reach requires contracts between a provider like Twilio with the carrier, but it also requires the carrier behind the scenes to have a contract with Google and Apple in order to reach those user devices. It has carrier fees similar to SMS with a pass-through in the US, for example, just all very similar to what you see from SMS when it comes to those additional fees. And then carrier onboarding approval is needed here to onboard a sender. This is similar to what you'll see with some manual requirements like short codes today, but it's essential because it ensures the verification of the sender and maintains the quality of the channel. I'll talk a little bit more about global availability next. So we haven't seen full consumer access by any means here, but we do see some very active early customers in some countries like Germany where there is full carrier reach, but we're still onboarding carriers to RCS in a lot of regions. And so I'm going to dig into that a little bit more when it comes to the US. The US is coming in a bit later to the game compared to other regions when it comes to RCS business messaging support. Mostly due to building that alignment for that onboarding process, but also because of the contracts required with those devices for Android and especially Apple. So there are 3 major US carriers, making up more than 90% of the market. Verizon is expected to be available in Q4, onboarding now. T-Mobile is expected to be in beta in Q4 with general availability in the first half of next year, in 2025. And AT&T is coming in the first half of 2025. So we're expecting to see more carrier access, more coverage across the US in the mid, I guess I'll just say 2025 timeframe. This is true for the channel broadly. So any consumer on these carriers cannot receive RCS business messaging unless their carrier is onboarded to the platform. All right, so let's dig in a little bit more on iOS because this is the hot topic right now. As I mentioned, carrier deployment is required to access iOS, and iOS is around 57% of the US market. So a majority of consumers in the United States are on iOS devices. So consumers need first their carrier to be onboarded, the last slide I talked about. Then they need to have iOS 18.1 on their device. So that operating system launched at the end of October. And we usually see about 6 to 9 months for about 80% of folks to update to the latest iOS. So that's looking like spring, summer of 2025. And not only that, but this is the first release for iOS. So Android has been supporting RCS business messaging for several years. Well, this is the first release for Apple devices, and there are some issues that can degrade the performance when compared to that Android experience. We're working some of the kinks out here with Apple. So we're working directly with them, as well as they're working with Google to resolve these issues for the market so that all messages render across all devices. Okay, so where do we go from here? As I mentioned, RCS is here and it has massive potential. The brand and verified components of RCS reinforce trust and grab attention, and this is entirely new and exciting for the US messaging market. RCS also brings more opportunity for personalization with highly engaging visual experiences into the consumer's native messaging app at global scale. So now's the time to learn more about RCS and begin planning for how it will fit into your comms strategy. And it should be noted that RCS business messaging is not necessarily consistent globally. As I mentioned, in iOS-heavy markets, there is limited carrier support, and also the capabilities are limited because of that iOS adoption. And then we're also seeing some performance inconsistencies. So we recommend testing and preparing for ideal RCS use cases alongside existing messaging channels for production traffic today. Ultimately, here at Twilio, we are committed to enhancing engagement for our customers without sacrificing resources. So we built RCS on Twilio Messaging, which is now in public beta, to ensure that no code changes are required, and there's an automatic upgrade to RCS for that branded sender experience. We've also built simplified verified sender onboarding, both in the Twilio console and as well as building your sender profile. And you can optimize your messaging with detailed engagement data, as I mentioned. So we'll have those RCS read receipts and click data right there next to the rest of your messaging channels in the Twilio console, as well as the webhook and all of our other data sources. And finally, drive engagement with rich interactive content. So you can build this where you manage your other rich content in the Twilio Content Template Builder. Twilio understands that the ROI of your communications matter, and that's why we're partnering with carriers, Google, Apple, and our customers globally to continue to improve the availability and the customer experience for RCS business messaging. And we're keeping you informed in the process. So with that, I'm going to pivot to talk about video calling. So I'm really excited to talk about this. This is a big announcement for us. We're continuing to support and innovate with Twilio Video. So we know that consumers require trust and personalization from your business. In our State of Customer Engagement report in 2024, we found that 94% of engagement leaders say personalized customer engagement is a high or critical priority, and that they expect their investment in digital customer engagement to increase by 133% by 2027. Video calling provides the most personalized and trusted digital interaction. It facilitates a real human interaction virtually by enabling one-to-one, face-to-face, and multimedia visual experiences with real-time human responsiveness. So what does it mean to enable trusted and personalized customer engagement with quality video calling? You can make sure your brand looks your best with high-quality video experiences embedded into your application. You can also painlessly integrate into your existing workflows and communication journeys to determine where video makes the most sense. And you can save time and energy by offloading expensive video maintenance caused by chasing countless and continuous browser and mobile device updates. Since the Twilio Video API does not mandate any specific UI, customers are free to define their own UI in a way that personalizes the experience for their end users. In addition to facilitating that one-on-one conversation with the consumer, brands can have additional data and preferences and bring that into the digital experience to ensure that the user gets the attention and the information that they require in a way that's convenient for them. So Twilio Video specifically brings the authenticity of human interactions into your user experience. It does this by maximizing developer efficiency. You can build a custom video solution in as little as 30 days, like our Twilio Video customer ZocDoc. You can also enhance your core customer experience, and that quality drives results, like 96% patient satisfaction for over 100,000 telehealth visits supported by Anytime Pediatrics. And finally, you can drive conversions and customer loyalty. You can improve your customer engagement experience by integrating video seamlessly into your existing channels and your application. You can embed video into your consultation, customer support, virtual sales experiences, easily escalate a customer voice call or messaging conversation to a video call. And we've seen that this can increase NPS to 70 plus with voice, video, and messaging for our customer MD Live. So Twilio Video Calling brings the power of real human interaction to the convenience of the digital space. And we've seen this with our customers as they connect providers to patients, family members, and interpreters with HIPAA-eligible video groups for healthcare, for telehealth, language translation, therapy sessions. We also see it for professional and financial services, where we can streamline complicated and secure processes by consolidating services to an application with video chat capabilities for things like mortgage and loan applications, tax advice, and online notary. And finally, retail sales and customer service. You can use Twilio Video to create a convenient customer service experience with the ability to give live product demonstrations, visual assistance for troubleshooting, and provide real-time responsiveness. We see this with virtual sales and visual support. Ultimately, I'm really excited to see what our customers continue to do with Twilio Video. And with that, I'm going to pass it to Lenore.
Thank you so much, Lindsay. Really appreciate that. My name is Lenore Files, and I'm a Principal Product Marketing Manager here at Twilio, and I'm very excited to share information about Studio 2.0, which is currently in beta. So what is Studio 2.0 and what does it offer? Well, before I get into that, many of our customers are using Studio 1.0 to build synchronous communication flows. And it has been primarily used to develop IVRs, messaging bots, or intelligent virtual agents. And, given the popularity of Studio, we've been investing in expanding its feature set to support use cases our customers have been gravitating towards. So as you can see here on the right, the UI will be refreshed to allow users to see custom widgets, Twilio function information, and other workflow details in a single place. Additionally, we are augmenting Studio's orchestration engine to better handle asynchronous use cases, like appointment confirmations or renewals, for example. And Studio 2.0 facilitates solving your end customers' needs as quickly and as accurately as possible by enabling teams to create highly personalized and intelligent workflows. So, by automating routine processes, you reduce the need for manual intervention, allowing your employees to focus on higher value tasks and supporting more end customers in the way that they would like to be supported. So, we've heard from you. We built Studio 2.0 in these enhancements because we're responding to our customers' evolving needs and the evolving needs of your customers, really taking that feedback that we received and incorporating it into these enhancements that you see on the left, which I will now go through. So for pre-call, you can now assign tasks to reps without an open communication channel. Utilize data from CRMs, purchase history, or other sources to personalize that customer experience. Custom widgets that connect to internal and external services. And for service orchestration, integrate with emerging bots. Migrate IVR workflows while using existing service providers. Update inbound profiles based on bot interactions. And for routing, AI routing determination, simultaneously BPO routing, and direct inward dialing are all part of the new enhancements. And for post-interaction, post-call surveys, reminders, and non-channel flows, such as custom wrap-ups or post-call processing. So these are all included as part of the enhancements in Studio 2.0. All right, so I'd like to share some use cases to really illustrate what I talked about in the previous slides, because Studio 2.0 really unlocks a lot in these use cases that you see here. So I'll go through them. For non-channel, the benefits you can see that you can use are custom widgets to increase speed of deployment, for example. Allow you to start a workflow without a channel. Orchestrate data to other third-party systems. And for Flex customers, you can customize your workflows. You'll be able to see it and modify it, such as digital transfers, custom outbound workflows, and post-call AI analysis. And so for contact center automation, you can do IVR callback requests, retrieve data from internal and external sources, custom AI bot integrations, custom routing, post-call conversation automation, and self-service task automation, such as unfreezing a credit card, for example, or resending an itinerary to a customer. And for customer engagement automation, there's predictive dialing that you can enable more omnichannel use cases than you could with Studio, unlocking bidirectional marketing campaigns, proactive notifications such as insurance renewals, and proactive fraud notifications. Again, are all elements of these use cases that Studio 2.0 unlocks for you. So with that, I thank you for listening, and I want to encourage you to sign up to participate in the beta program. Please follow the link and fill the information out. It would be great to have you participate. And I'm going to go ahead and hand this over to Bryn.
Next, let's talk about linked events. Linked events make it easy to enrich your tracked events with any available datasets within your data warehouse. Now, this is a huge benefit to both data and marketing teams because it previously required cross-team collaboration to achieve. Instead, marketers have unprecedented access to data and the tools they already use to personalize customer experiences. With linked events, data engineers only need to define the relationship between datasets once in order to give marketers access to all the data they need for personalization. The best part? Linked events builds on top of your existing data investments, leveraging your already cleaned and transformed data, which reduces time to value from months to hours. Let's walk through a quick example here. What you're seeing here is a mobile event being enriched with data from the warehouse. In this case, a video watched event is being enriched with additional context about the game, maybe the home team, the away team, the scores, and it's ultimately being sent downstream to Braze for activation. The result here being a more personalized mobile notification for the end user. Linked events is now generally available. Finally, let's talk about use case onboarding. This new feature is designed to get you up and running with new CDP use cases quickly, with step-by-step checklists. Use case onboarding supports the most common CDP use cases based on customer feedback. Examples include things like building high-value lookalike audiences, mitigating cart abandonment, personalized win-back campaigns, converting trials to paid subscriptions, and much more. Each walkthrough includes tailored recommendations to ensure that your implementation is aligned around your business goals. Use case onboarding is generally available in Q4 for all business tier customers. And with that, I'll pass things back to Alex and Steph. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you, Bryn. In a few moments, we will have Chanel walking through Twilio's insights around Black Friday and Cyber Monday.
Yeah, it's really cool to see how this major e-commerce event has evolved over the years. Did you know that we processed over 20 billion emails during Black Friday and Cyber Monday last year?
I did, and it's still crazy to me. Like, that averages out to 2.5 emails per human on planet Earth, like including literal children. It's wild.
Yeah, and speaking of interacting with people of all ages across the world, Chanel will also walk us through the Consumer Preferences Report. This report has a ton of useful data about how, when, and why different customers like to be contacted. Like, Steph, did you know that Gen Z prefer phone calls more than millennials, Gen X, or baby boomers?
Yeah, I know. I thought millennials and Gen Z were notorious for avoiding phone calls. I personally like talking on the phone, but I thought I was just an outlier. It's really good to know that I'm just young and trendy. And speaking of trendy, we also have some great ways for you to stay up to date with the latest Twilio betas and features. But before we get into that, let's pass this over to Chanel to walk us through some of these awesome insights.
I'm excited to announce that the Consumer Preferences Survey is now live. Personalization is here to stay, however, getting it right is key. We surveyed consumers from around the world, including Australia, Brazil, Colombia, France, and Germany, to gain a comprehensive understanding of communication channel preferences. The survey was conducted between June and July and engaged a total of 3,900 individuals, representing a broad spectrum of demographics and regions. It covers what exactly drives consumers to choose one channel over another, or why multi-channel engagement is key. And lastly, it has key takeaways and insights for you to improve engagement. The 3 things we learned that they wanted was to be met on their preferred channel. That means engaging with someone through the communication medium or platform that they are most comfortable with, whether that's email, SMS, or voice, ensuring a more effective and personalized interaction. The second thing they wanted was to connect and build trust with a brand to build loyalty and become a returning customer. And the third thing consumers want is speed. Speed matters, and communication responsiveness can make or break purchasing decisions. Scan the QR code to learn more and download the report for more insights. In September, we also hosted a webinar with customers like Klaviyo and Shopify to help prepare for Cyber Week 2024. We discussed Twilio's tools to deliver really personalized and targeted communications that resonate during the busiest time of the year. We also talked about increased customer engagement with one platform that captures real-time data to create unified profiles and how to solve for the really difficult deliverability and throughput challenges. And last, we talked to Klaviyo and Shopify about how they enhance their performance with Twilio. All right, let's get into the numbers and learn how Twilio broke records this year. Twilio SendGrid processed 65.5 billion emails during Cyber Week, 12 billion emails on Black Friday alone, a 13.5% year-over-year increase. 5.2 billion messages were sent during Cyber Week, and on Cyber Monday alone, 1.1 billion messages were sent, a 29.8% year-over-year increase. And it doesn't stop there. Twilio Voice saw a total of 146.2 million calls during Cyber Week, a 20% year-over-year increase, and sent an estimated 1.73 billion SMS authentications during Cyber Week. Twilio's segment processed 264.8 billion events. Quarters of planning alongside our customers ensured all of these communications reached consumers with zero Twilio outages. These numbers aren't just milestones. The data tells a really exciting story. Whether over email, messages, or voice calls, customers now expect seamless experiences across every channel they use, and businesses are delivering. By being present, responsive, and connected, businesses are building stronger relationships and setting a new standard for customer engagement. Cyber Week is not just about driving sales. It's an opportunity to nurture relationships and learn about consumer preferences that last well beyond the holiday season. We have so many resources already available for you, including the webinar recording and blogs around compliance and holiday messages. And be sure to look out for Twilio Cyber Week recap blog as well. I'll pass it over to Alex.
Thank you, Chanel. I've already learned a lot from that consumer preferences report, and I'm so glad we're sharing it with everybody else. Right about now, you should see a little pop out for you to give us some feedback. Please rate us, leave us any notes. We read everything that you write in there. We're always trying to improve and do better. For example, all the links in chat were based on some feedback that we received last time. So we do really pay attention, and we're trying to make this as amazing an experience for you as possible. Now, if you want to stay up to date between webinars, you can always visit the Twilio Beta Products and Features page. This is where we list all of our new things coming out. Any ways that you can participate in these betas are all there. And if you want to dive even deeper, you can check out our changelog. It's a little more technical, but it has every single little update that we make to Twilio.
We will be back in a few months at the end of Q1, so please keep an eye out for that invite. But outside of that, thank you so much for joining. We really can't wait to see what you build with all these new releases.